I am connecting and recording via my computer and my Instagram. I won't be answering your questions today. I'm going to do a reading after I finish the reading of my book, Midnight Sun. I will see if anybody has questions you can ask. I will read only a part of it, the introduction. I don't remember if it's the introduction or the acknowledgments. I wrote something very special that I think is worth reading today. And I will read, I think, the first chapter, the introduction, to show you a little bit of what this novel is about. So it's already available for $14.99 via all platforms. You can reach via Smashwords or Amazon. I already saw that it's on Apple. What is it called? I'm gonna age myself if I try to mention any of these, but I'll be posting them in the next month or so. And then I will also have specials and goodies over the month. And then into Christmas time, I'm going to be publishing something else. I hope so. And give you a little extra something special to go along with the books. So let's get started right away. This is my sun at this moment, is this bright light that's shining in my face. And I'm going to be posting this via my YouTube as well. So you can go there. Please follow my channel, subscribe. I need your support in order to move forward. I can't ask you enough. Please go to my channel and subscribe and give me your feedback. So here is A Midnight Sun. Let me get to the acknowledgements, I think. This is the most important part. It's the introduction to the book. And it's one of the things I heard when I got started. If you feel that light in your life going out, it can be blown again into flame by an encounter with another human being, even if that human being exists only in the magical, mystical, magnificent world of motion pictures. This is Kurt Russell quoting Albert Schweitzer during his acceptance speech. There's my Latina. On the Star Walk of Fame. When he got his star, he recited that into the speech. So here's the introduction. I believed my entire life a shining light would be waiting for me at the most unexpected moment. I shaped my whole attitude in the notion that were I to be in the right place at the right time, I would be discovered. Many years have passed, and I still feel the anticipation of finding myself on the verge of finally getting my great big break. Aging, but not old enough to give up on my career and my dreams, I still pursue acting without hesitation inside my steps toward financial wellness and a freedom I couldn't crave hard enough. Acting has never been far from me in between the years of branching out toward other ventures. California was my goal, and I still find myself California dreaming, largely thanks to the mamas and the papas, but more because it is said that stardom is found harder and more resounding inside those sound stages. With the devastating news of my intraocular melanoma, the dark side of the moon, came the desperate months of lying awake and considering death, suicide, and desolation, loneliness, grief, and the pain of inconclusive years of wanting more. I clung to my dreams and mostly waited around doctors' offices and back and forth from my apartment in Maracaibo in Caracas, Venezuela, not wanting anything but a pen and paper to write. Mostly angry, but majorly irritated with the Venezuelan government, the insolent news of more unsolved crimes, and the pain of those suffering along with yours truly. I wrote away my frustrations and complained mostly because I felt lost. I was convinced I would never have my life back, my career, my family, or happiness and love. My work became my refuge, and I went back to writing inspired through pain, but more through the escapism it presented. I felt dreamy inside the pages where I wrote this novel in longhand. The old pages from my job in Venezuela as the education coordinator served as the recycled backing for my manuscript. I still have it. I cried thinking of actors who died too young and perhaps felt how I felt, weak and alone, wanting to hit the stage only once more or see those lights shine bright above them. With them in mind, I became aware the writer in me had a voice too, strong and willing to discover where this led me. Then I found I was partly both these characters, the actor and the writer, fighting through another day without the notion I would live or die to work again. This duality, I might get emotional, so be warned. And the reshaping turmoil of my life, which seemed to be collapsing on itself, gave me Mirim and Parker. I devoted a full month to them, no interruptions, no internet, and wrote this novel with love and empathy in my heart. They saved me, and hopefully they will continue to save those who have found their ending too cruel or too soon. I am completely convinced their light can shine brightly for you too. And to the angel who found me lost and blessed me with his care while I had only fear and pain in my mind and heart. Thank you for anticipating my weaknesses and holding me through. This one is largely dedicated to you and all the winged friends of my days and nights of loneliness. In retribution and gratitude for your presence in my life, I pray this novel finds your hands someday. With all my love, Claire. Excuse me if I have some wine. And these lovely, I don't know what they're called. They're Chinese sesame seed vegan sticks. Prologue. Marquee. The heat has her spinning and her memories are not clear. Oahu, December 7th, 1989. Mirim throws the ball in the air again, her eyes squinting against the sunlight, the sting releasing a well of hot tears which roll from the corners of her eyelids when she forces them open to catch the airborne sphere. Pluck! Right into her glove. She is about to throw it again when a gust of wind rushes from her right. The air turns increasingly humid and sweet-smelling, like honeysuckle. Better get back, she announces Nappy, her golden terrier mix, who sits quizzically waiting with her paws stretched out into the earth. Mirim runs through the sunflower fields and straight to her house. The field rushes past her in a blur, and the aroma of flowers mixed with honeysuckle grows stronger when she strokes them with her hands. A familiar sight and scent. Mornings are her favorite part of being home. The blessing of having pear and apple trees in her backyard makes her feel lucky, so she smiles into the tree. A bird replies in song, and she continues to pick fruit, remembering how, when being a child, her mother planted these trees and told her stories of her ancestors and how they had been hoping to migrate from the westlands of California and found refuge in the fertile volcanic soil of Hawaii. They still tasted as good as they did then. The branches above her head have become overgrown and scratch her head and arms. She asks Nappy to remind her to pick more fruit, and Nappy barks twice, as if to respond she would. Her old throaty bark, a laughing matter in her family. Mirim wonders how many years Nappy has to live, and then wonders why she'd think of such things. A ripe pear comes into view just after she wipes her forehead. It has suddenly gotten hot. The pear is green and spotted with golden dots that look delicious. She crawls under the branches a little further until she finds more pears and a couple of apples, then goes back. The last stretch to her house, about 20 feet, she walks slowly with Nappy by her side, while biting into a juicy pear before reaching for the screen door of the yellow bungalow her mother and father had made a home. The lavender galoshes she wears match her her shirt. And she places them just outside the door next to her brother's, her baseball glove and ball, which had been folded and tucked into the back of her pants, laid now just above her shoes. Nappy runs into the kitchen and yaps, standing by her food bowl, waiting as she always does for her afternoon nibbles. Gruff. Her bark thunders and Mirim shushes her. Quiet, Nappy. Everyone is still sleeping and you're making such a fuss. Mama is going to be angry. After filling the food and water bowls, Mirim hikes the stairs 2 steps at a time and jumps into the shower. The steam rises over the shower curtain so abundantly and fast it looks like a misty cloud has mysteriously rolled into the house. The daffodil wallpaper, in the small room condensed almost instantly in hundreds of water droplets. Mirim looks at them mesmerized as she undresses and laughs, but doesn't know exactly why. Then runs a dirty hand over the fogged up mirror and looks at her naked body. Her hair looks like lava cascading on top of her shoulders in messy ringlets. The morning warmth has already made it damp, so she flips it back and away from her face. Mirim loves Hawaii's weather and doesn't miss the rainy winter of Seattle. Her friend always complimented her new freckles when she goes back after the holidays, though she doesn't like them too much. Shielding them from the sunlight had become a nuisance. At only 3 months past her 20th birthday, she still looks 13. She still looks 13, 15 at most, and like the added holiday freckles, she doesn't exactly love looking younger either, although her mother always told her it was a good thing as you got older. She has been examining herself so long the mirror fogs up again, but she decides to leave it. The towel wrapping her round and perky breasts falls to the floor and Mirim disappears into the steam. A jazzy tune drifts in as she starts her second round of shampooing. It meant her mother was already awake and making breakfast. The music always precedes the smell of strong coffee. Her mother and father usually argue over watching the news or listening to music, but she instead insists on listening to what he called the shrill of the jazz mares. Mirim smiles while she hears their bickering. She puts on a dollop of Madame Bonnet's miracle skin lightening mask on her forehead, nose, and cheeks. Leave on for at least 10 minutes, the bottle says. So Mirim looks at the clock she had on top of the sink. It reads exactly 7:54. She gazes at the razor and the new razor cream for ladies. The pink can was ridiculous and delightfully cheery at the same time. She couldn't understand why they recently started making everything for women pink, but finds it cute and really enjoys the soft feminine scent as well. Mirim sits in the half-filled tub and applies a thick layer of cream. She is careful not to nick herself at her ankles, and as she did most times, she shaved in a misty bathroom, mostly because of running and rushing between classes and work, but more likely because of a newfound distraction. No need to rush here. I have plenty of time. Relaxed by the swirling draws of Ella Fitzgerald, she goes to work, but her vision turns suddenly blurry. She feels like she'll sink into the tub because it is melting under her weight. She is sure of it. Perhaps it is too hot. The next thing she remembers is waking up in a pool of damp towels and sheets. Her mother screaming over her while her father keeps throwing dry towels over her face and chest and legs. That is the end of the prologue. I will be posting, hopefully, I think, or doing another live to talk about chapter 1 and 2. I wish I could go into the letters. Those are my favorite. The other characters, the actress and her husband, who are distanced by her career and his, become sort of you have a long distance relationship, and as of back then in the time of before Pearl Harbor, late 1930s, people would write letters, go figure. And he professes his love to her in such a way. I wrote it so emotionally. I was spent every time I wrote one of the letters. And it was my experiment on writing in POV from the side of the men in the story. And it turned out really beautiful. So I hope you get this book. I hope you read it and tell me about it. And hopefully I get to hear from your feedback and your comments. This is a beautiful historical fiction novel. To me, is more romantic than anything. It does have historical elements because it's my preferred genre, as I've said before, but it's mostly a romance novel. So it's a good read just before the holidays. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you care. It's never too late or never too soon. I believe in the power of emotional connectivity, and this is why this novel saved me in a way, and made me productive in a way I didn't expect, and made me feel like I was really on a good path where it came to my career, putting everything that I had learned together into this little nice compact novel. So hopefully after this one, more will come, and I'll get to share with you as well. So this has been just an insight into A Midnight Sun. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching and listening. And don't forget to shine your light onto others. Happy Veterans Day to those who have been in service and will continue to be, or are thinking about being, to service of others. I bless you with all my heart. I think a lot of us do. You keep us safe and grounded, and you make sure that we don't have to live the things that you live for us. Humanity owes the armed forces a debt of gratitude. I hope that we can keep using what we learn from them and others in a positive way, so we don't have to go to war and we don't have to hurt each other or kill each other, so less women die, less men die, and our children are safe and protected under the same light, our huge big sun. All right, guys, see you next time, and take care of each other.